It's my honour and privilege to wrap up. How long have I got? 4 minutes. I better speak quickly then. I just want to go over some of these arguments just to make sure they're fresh in your mind when you get to cast your vote to decide that we win. Thank you. Occupy Central. Remember what the motion is here. This House supports Occupy Central. And as Claudia pointed out, one good reason to support Occupy Central is that it is clearly being effective. The sheer hysteria of those who are opposed to democracy and universal suffrage in Hong Kong shows that they are running scared. Occupy Central has got them on the run. It is working. The more support we give it, the more it will achieve. The argument that it won't achieve anything is simply wrong. Now, I'm not going to belabor you too much. I realise that you are young. You might not remember 10, 11 years ago the Article 23 debate. Article 23 of Basic Law, if you remember, required that Hong Kong passes sweeping security legislation. For example, it would bang you up for suggesting that perhaps Taiwan might not be a part of China. And if you remember, well, there was a great debate about a number of people who marched in the streets on July the 1st, 2003. 500,000, 700,000 marched from Victoria Park to Central, went on all day. An enormous number of people, very peaceful march, not one single arrest, by the way. Do you know what happened? The Hong Kong government and the Beijing government backed down completely. Article 23 has not been heard of again. It was a huge victory for the people of Hong Kong, marching in the streets, operating outside of the rigged institutional structure that was designed to make sure they have no voice. And the people of Hong Kong made sure their voice was heard by marching in the street. So when you say that Occupy Central can achieve nothing, I beg to differ, and I can cite evidence. Just look at the Article 23 debate. And that brings me to the final point I make about this. I could go on all night. But to say that this sort of movement will only put Beijing's back up, I tell you what, Beijing is a closed door, and you have to lean mighty hard on that door to get it to open even an inch. If you don't lean, it won't open. And I think, I don't know if we got any members of our diplomatic community here this evening, but I can tell you that they would support that view as the foreign policy of Beijing's international interlocutors has shown time and again. You have to push very hard even to get Beijing to yield an inch, and if you don't push, they certainly won't yield. As Claudia said, you have to fight if you want to achieve your democracy. And I'll wrap up by quoting one last thing from the Universal Declaration on Human Rights, Article 21, first clause. Everyone has the right to take part in the government of his country, directly or through freely chosen representatives. That is a right. Beijing signed up, of course, to the Universal Declaration. That is a right that the Hong Kong people have. It is their right. Yeah? And it's a right that has been denied. Third clause of Article 21. The will of the people shall be the basis of the authority of the government. This shall be expressed in periodic and genuine elections, which shall be by universal and equal suffrage. That is a right. That is the right of Hong Kong people. It is a right that has been denied by universally accepted practice, by the norms. And let me remind you that the Greek word for law simply means normal practice. That is a right just been denied. It is the right of Hong Kong people to operate outside of the institutional structure in order to demand and to achieve their rights in law, which is universal suffrage. Occupy Central very gently pursues those rights, and that's why I commend the motion to the House. Thank you very much.